just remembered I need to tell
I got
Brew Live because he's bad at keeping track of it. I have so many mice and keyboards. Hold on. Artemis, move. I need to get a USB hub because I'm spoiled now. And Chris got me this. But I only have 2 USB ports. So it's either the mouse and the webcam or the webcam and
Are there any on the back of your computer?
No. It's a laptop.
Oh, laptop.
But you can get I could get a USB hub. No, that's like he asked if the desktop needed a new keyboard, and I said no because like the desktop keyboard works fine. It's just the children and I have. Well, okay, it's really the sweaty child has used the keyboard so much that he's wiped the WASD off, but they still work, and I know which one is which. For all the gamers out there, they know exactly why those 3 specifically are gone. But otherwise, the keyboard works perfectly fine. And I was like, but I want a keyboard for my laptop.
That's 4 keys. But yes.
WASD. Oh, well, because look, the D is still there. It's just,
okay.
Yeah, so.
But you did say 4 keys when you were talking about it.
That's my bad. Well, I guess I said
3.5.
Yeah, I was like WASD, and then I guess my brain went, well, no, I can still see the D. But yeah, I was like, I would like a keyboard for my laptop though, because like my writing program isn't working on the desktop right now, and I've given up on that. So, but like. You've seen me with Artemis when she tries to lay in my lap while I'm working on the laptop. And I'm like, if I can just have the keyboard here, the laptop can stay over there. I am not quite that hard of seeing yet. So it's been
when
working
you
great.
Get some bomb-ass glasses.
That reminds me, actually.
I had bomb-ass glasses. All of my glasses
actually
in the past have
too much glare. I'll live.
Yeah.
But yeah, but now I've got like let me show you real quick. Now I've got like here's my laptop mouse, laptop over there. Here's my desktop mouse. Whoops. Desktop mouse, desktop over here, desktop keyboard, laptop keyboard, other laptop keyboard. I'm not using it though. Normally it sits. I know this is a terrible tour. I'm sorry.
I didn't know your curtains were stripy. That's fun.
They're stripy. That's the wall.
Oh, it's the wallpaper.
Yeah.
I hate the wallpaper though. I've had a couple people who like it, and I'm just like, no. But yeah,
it on the white background. If it was like a maroon background with the stripes and the designs within the stripes, I think it'd look cool. But not with the white.
I just don't like it. It's very old Southern grandma, and
it is.
I want edgy.
Some old Southern grandma is awesome though.
Yeah.
This is like brick. Like you guys can tell this is brick. But in other dorms, they have an exposed brick. So jealous. But I have this fucking like painted over. And if you run your fingers across it, the paint comes up. Like,
yeah.
Like I think they paint it like every year, every couple years. And so there's so many layers of paint. It's like not
sticking
solid.
properly anymore. Yeah. Excuse me. Also, this is just disclaimer chat. These two already know. It's not doing it now, but on and off. I think my body's going through something and it just doesn't want to tell me what it is. So if I like get quiet or anything, these two may have to talk for me.
Actually, we'll turn into my stream and we'll like just go to my channel.
Well, we'll say that you said things to us that you didn't say.
Yeah.
Yeah, send us a message being like, please tell the chat that I love them, and I'll look at the camera and go, she says she hates you guys.
Any of you. Tina said, hi, party people. Hey, Jessica. I'm trying to decide if I should continue knitting or if I should work on my outline.
You could do
options.
Like knit, write, or knit, outline, knit.
I don't think that works.
Alternate
No,
instead of alternating knit and purl. Alternate knit outline.
Not like
Tight knit.
not like knit purl knit, like knit for one
Hey, Kelly.
sprint outline
Yeah.
and then knit for the other.
You could knit while we're talking, outline while we're sprinting. I think
Yeah.
might be what
That makes more
CB was
sense.
thinking.
But I don't want to admit defeat.
Hi, RP.
I'm
Hey,
texting
JC.
people about
Hey,
we're
cool
sprinting.
gamer.
Uh,
So, how is everybody's weekend going? Right now, I don't want to talk about my weekend yet. I want to talk about my book because not the book I'm writing, but the book I'm reading. First of all, I have read 11 books this month, and I'm fairly certain 7 of them were in this past week.
oh my god.
So there's that. I finished the main Ice Planet Barbarian series. The final one was super cute. It was like the main, the female lead is
Mhm.
apparently into like very like light fetish stuff, and like part of the thing was that she liked being like the feeling of being trapped or helpless or taken advantage of and stuff. And the poor Salt Queen, like she bruises easy too. So the first time that like they did it, he was like, "Oh no, I've hurt you." And she's like, "No, I like that." But he's like, "But I hurt you," and he's so horrified. So then the book is just kind of like them coming to understand each other and being like open and communicating, and then finding a middle ground. Like it's not a case of he's automatically okay with it, but like he really does want to like make her feel good and stuff. And one of the other characters sort of helps talk to him about it, and I love the way it's explained, because she's like, it's not really about it's not really about being hurt, it's about consent. And I'm like, oh, this is so beautiful. Is this what?
Ice Planet Barbarians.
Yeah, that's what I just said. I finished Ice Planet Barbarians, and then the last book was about that.
Okay, I didn't catch the Ice Planet Barbarians, but I'm like, Sam hasn't told me about this random, like, kind of kinky romance. There's like a little.
I read 7 books in a week, CB. It's very possible I didn't tell you about one or two.
I have been, I've
but
read 3. I'm on my 3rd in the past, like, week. Along with, like, also reading, like, a 500k fanfiction at the same time. We're not going to talk about it. But I'm reading Heaven's Official Blessing, and I'm, like, going through it, and that book keeps punching me in the gut. Like, every book, they're like, gotcha! And I'm like, oh my god, you did! Like, why are you doing this? Because it's so... I don't want to, like, say anything, because you guys should all read the series.
Yeah, I'm planning to. Please, no spoilies.
But it's so amazing. Oh my god. It's like... It's so good. But it hurts my soul and heart. And, yeah.
I have also been having an emotional book weekend. We're having emotional book times.
Yeah.
Because I had where...
Oh, hold on. Let me finish up what I was going to say about Ice Planet Barbarians, and then Tina. I don't want to forget. Libby interrupted me.
I did.
Libby's fault.
I embraced...
No, I was...
needed to breathe.
I was just gonna say, so I have officially finished the primary series for Ice Planet Barbarians, and I now understand how she got 19 books. And I just want to say she is set up for the spin-off series, Ice Home, really well, and I can't wait to dive into that. But I do highly recommend Ice Planet Barbarians. Just also definitely check out the trigger warnings first. She handles a lot of like heavy and sensitive topics, but I think she does it really well. Like one of the main characters that I read this past week has extreme anxiety, and one of the things she was terrified about being on the planet was no longer having access to her anxiety medication. And I was like,
if I
ta-da.
was a character in Ice Planet Barbarians, I would be fucked, and not in a fun way. Actually, wait, doesn't the magic thing like heal your brain?
No, well, it doesn't. Okay, so this comes from, I think, the tumor thing, right? So it helps.
I don't know.
It like basically helps you fight it, but it doesn't like fix it because one, it is just a parasite thing. It's not like omnipotent, all powerful. But it does help. It does help a lot. And like one of the ways that helps her deal with anxiety is instead of like her anxiety medication, she can go to the healer, and the healer like uses her magic to talk to the other girl's cootie thing, and then it like helps calm her brain, right? So
this series is just full of Tina's worst nightmares.
It's okay, don't read it, Tina. But
anything like everything from like parasites, the stuff about the breeding, and also the Arctic. I hate being in the cold. This is all just things Tina doesn't want.
I will say they haven't in the series. She must have got like feedback about it or stuff, because like later in the series they do bring up that there have been instances of like thruples, or like specifically one of the males had 2 fathers and a mother. So like there are instances. It's just because like at the start of the series their tribe is dying out, but then like as the population and stuff grows,
as the 19 books have to happen.
So what you're telling me is that
sexuality also branches
could potentially have 2 instead of just. Oh, that's just not my. I totally appreciate the fact that like it's other people's jams. It's one of those things where, funny enough, it's just filled with like from top to bottom things Tina doesn't like. Not even in a like I am like disgusted by it, but just like not for me. Like Tina doesn't want to be in the cold. Tina doesn't want brain parasites.
It's not in your brain; it's in your heart.
That doesn't help.
I think it's more in my brain.
So hold on. Kelly said the book I'm reading, Sucker Punch Me Right Feels as well, and I'm sitting here going, "What the fuck are you doing to me?" Kind of, but they're not a high line.
Every time I start a new save file on Baldur's Gate, and there's the eye scene, I'm like,
Oh yeah, I can't do eye stuff either. But
Tina, tell us about your emotional read.
Yes, my emotional book reading time, because I had where for a while there I was doing some reading that required taking notes on things, and it was fine. It was non-fiction-y things, and I finished reading the books, and I was like, what do I do with myself? And I was like, I really want to get back into fiction. I haven't read a fiction book in like several months because I'm one of those people, I can only read one book at a time. So I was like, let me look through my fiction, and there was one that I had mentioned, I think either in the Sam's Realm or on stream, from an author I like for being, quite camp and fun, and all his stuff is queer, and like there's the ones I had read was like queer enemy spies who fall in love with each other, and then queer mafia son of a mafia boss shenanigans. And then the one that he had that came out last fall was guy falls in queer love while his frat has a serial killer going around, and it was advertised as like slasher and fun. And the thing is that I like reading horror, can't watch horror movies. I'm not like super into like gory stuff though. Like, well, I'm not so much a slasher fan. Especially because like I was like, I don't know how this will go in a book for me. And then it was also a thing of like, like because I don't do horror movies, I don't really do the slasher movies. But I was like, you know what? I'm intrigued, and I really like this author. I always have a good time with this author. And so I was like, I'll start reading it. And it was literally like, went to bed on Saturday night, was having trouble sleeping because I was getting used to my new mattress, and was like, let me just pull it up. And then proceeded to finish it Sunday evening. I think I burned through like I want to say like 7 to 9 chapters that first night. But then I was posting in the Sam's being like, what do I do with myself? Because I was like, it was just such a fun ride. But like also genuinely like spooky, because there's nothing more terrifying than a man. I was gonna specify, but I was like, you know what? Just a man.
Have you seen like where it's like women being interviewed and it's like, would you rather be stuck in the woods with a man or a bear? And all of the women are like, a bear.
Yeah. But yeah, no. And so I was like, what do I do with my life? And then I was combing through my TBR, which actually I have to go through and narrow down, because I realized it would take me 7 years at the rate I usually read to finish my TBR, and I don't like that. But anyway,
after reading 7 of the books I had on my like audiobook TBR between Hoopla and Libby, I'm just looking at the like 2 remaining, and I'm like, what do I do with my life now? Just you 2. I'm gonna be finished soon.
Are there a bunch of news?
I combed through my TBR and found that another author who I really love had put out a murder mystery book that's about a lesbian couple who take a vacation to the Scottish Highlands in a hotel, like a fancy castle turned hotel, get snowed in, murder starts happening. It's very Knives Out inspired.
Awesome.
And one part of the couple who we follow is a true crime podcaster.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
And it is so fun because I'm actually sitting here like puzzling out the mystery, and like I was discussing it with my coworker while we were working, and she actually figured out a part that like shortly came up afterwards, and I have to message her actually about that and be like, it was a thing of she figured out one part, I figured out I got close to the next part of it, of the reveal. Yeah, and it's a thing of like, it's one of those ones where I'm having a great time, and I'm like, dang, like the hits just keep coming. I've actually gotten really lucky with that recently, where like when I go into a fiction book being like, I don't know, I hope it's as good as the sequel. It's not my usual I keep being just happily surprised. And I hope that continues.
I need to package up my dinner because Storm is currently hunting it.
Trying to lick
the inconvenient time because
cats everywhere.
She's always here lurking.
But yes, I am Tina, aka Cabby. The light is very bright on my face. There we go. All of a sudden the sun set and just but yeah, I make queer comics that are free to read online. I am going to pull up where'd my links go? I will find it. Oh goodness. But yes, I make the queer comics. You can read them for free online. Secret Admirer romance with a bit of a mystery, because as you can tell, I like a bit of a mystery. No murders in that one though. I do have 2 deep sea mermaids discussing job satisfaction, and one of them is dead. So there's some, if you like murder, I guess it's adjacent. And there's also Coffin Bed, my queer vampire romance, which actually it's not in the series yet, but the vampire does eventually admit to having committed a murder. So there you go, bring it back around to the themes. And also, it's very important to tell you guys, I have 2 bunnies. But as is in my description. Yes, I will throw my links in.
Oh, I thought you were like doing something because I didn't see Artemis. I thought you were just going like.
The air conditioner's on and it's vaguely blowing in this direction, so I'm taking advantage of that to blow on her ear and confuse her, because otherwise she knows when it's me. But now she's just staring at the air conditioner like, the fuck is your problem?
This is why the robots are going to revolt, is because you're throwing the blame on them. Hello. I am CB Ferrenz, college student, queer fantasy writer and screenwriting major. I am also a college student. I just messed it up because it's not in my bio anymore. It's implied in screenwriting major, I feel like. I stream weekly with Sam on Wednesdays, either on my channel or hers. This week, I believe, is her channel. Starting at 2 p.m. EST, called With Wednesday, where we focus on our current projects. Currently,
I get stuff done.
Currently, I am looking for beta readers for my Sapphic Fae feature film script that I'm writing for my class. Currently, the link for the Google form is posted in Sam's Realm and Sam's Discord server, and in a second, I will post it in the chat.
Do you want me to toss it in the chat?
For you to toss in the chat. And it will be tossed into the chat by Tina. So feel free to sign up there if you are interested. It's only going to be about 20K in total words. And it'll only take the whole process is only a month long because the script is due on May 14th. So, yeah. Ta-da. And you don't need to have any screenwriting knowledge going into it. Awesome.
I just want to show you guys how horrendously the machine missed the mark when it put the little X into the top. This is where it should be. This is where it is. So.
How dare it. Another thing we're blaming the robots for.
I'm holding the robot accountable. Also, our pieces, the robots can't figure out how to do spell check right. So,
hey, I can't spell.
To be fair, did the robot did they need to spell in Terminator? I don't think they did.
Come with me.
Kelly signed up already.
Where's my phone? I really did sign up.
And I am writing mom, Samantha L. Nassett. I'm a hot mess. I've been a hot mess since February. I don't know what's going on, but I have a doctor's appointment Thursday, so hopefully we'll figure it out. I'm also a connoisseur of all things romance, fantasy, and mystery lately. Mondays this month, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, we're doing write-ins with Wednesdays, alternating between me and CB from 1 to 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. This week's me, next week's her. And my writing work shift on Thursdays, 1 to 3 as well. Join me, and we can get all the things done. You can
Not me, I have a day job.
And stuff. I'm sorry. Technically, I'm doing these streams to sort of act like a part-time day job for me. So the daytime work hours are when that works out.
I'm trying to think if I could have done it when I worked nights. Maybe.
Well, you prefer this show.
Yeah. But you can join the realm for $1.
Sam's Realm. Woo!
Do lots of random work and fills.
Lots of them.
I'm so happy and proud that people do them when I'm not there. As much as I hate not being there, it's nice to see people not relying on the server owner to do things.
The server being active without. Yeah. Oh,
especially since I disappear sometimes.
Give Sam money. I didn't say it at all.
I'm glad RP remembers.
Thank you, RP.
You didn't get me this time. Oh, Christine. Damn it, I wasn't paying attention.
It is our constant battle.
I wasn't paying attention either.
Okay, we're going to do sprints in reverse order today. We're going to do the 2020, then the 30.
Okay.
Also, whilst I prepare the sprint, I want to tell y'all about Styx, because
the musical.
All right. No, the book.
The author. Or
Styx.
Book.
Like the river.
Yeah.
Yeah, the river.
The band.
Styx.
Band. That's what I was thinking of, not author or artist.
I mean, there's probably an artist called Styx. And there might be an author that goes by Styx.
I am talking about the book Styx by Sherilyn McQueen or Sherilyn Kenyon, depending on what website you look it up. Either way, Sherilyn. Well, so for the year of favorites readathon, we each pick a favorite every month. This includes me. I get to reread my favorite shiz amongst all the reading I'm doing.
Happy
Well, it has been, I think, over 10 years since I've read most of Sherilyn's books. And so I was like, I don't remember which one's my favorite. And I'm like, but I do remember who my favorite character is. And that was Styx. So, like, I have a fun story with this that I wanted to share with everyone. And it is that, like, so the Dark Hunter series had, I want to say 18 or 19 books before Styx came out. And during it, Styx is like this antagonist who we're just given like a lot of negative information about. He is like the evil twin brother to Acheron, or Acheron? I think it's Acheron. But like,
wait, they're all named after the rivers of the underworld, aren't they?
these two are.
Two of them are.
Acheron.
Hold on, I might be able to get you the correct pronunciation here.
So, of the other dude.
Yeah. So, and like, they had some real bad beef and stuff. But for me, like, the entire time I'm reading it, I'm like, I don't know. I feel a weird kinship to this man. I don't know why I feel a weird kinship to this man, but I do. And then, did I what?
Because you're edgy and he's a villain.
Perhaps. It's just like the way that certain things go down and happen and some of his dialogue and shit. I'm all like, I don't know if I think he's as bad as everybody says he is. Much like my son in Tale of the Night-Tailed.
Okay.
But true, I didn't feel a kinship to him, though. But I did to Styx. And so when Sherilyn announced that she was releasing Styx's novel, I was like, he gets a novel? I get to read it? And I can't explain what compelled me, but I just got Chris to buy me the autographed limited special edition of Styx. Before I even read it, I was just that convinced he was my guy. And I did. I read the book and I was like, this is my guy. And then like when Sherilyn, it's weird because when Sherilyn talked about writing, like she didn't want to write Styx's book like at all. She hated the character. She didn't think anything nice about the character. And then she was like, but one day I was thinking about what book to write and I couldn't bring myself to write any. So the way she talks about her process is she sits down with the characters and talks to them to learn their story. And so she's like, I sat down with Styx. And I'm like, I believed in him before the author believed in him. It's okay. But again, I haven't read it in over a decade. So I'm sitting here going, is the nostalgia gonna fuck this book up for me? Did I just relate to him at that point in my life? Like, what's going on? And then I'm listening to the book. I'm like 4 hours in now. And one, he deals with migraines. He deals with, like, his head hurts. He gets nausea. Like, they are migraines. And his dad just thinks he's making it up. His sister thinks he's just attention seeking. And I'm like,
damn.
I don't get that from my family, but I've gotten that from other people. And then there's just like, this boy has got it rough because like everybody just sort of believes the worst in him. And like they're willing to believe like lies and stuff. And when he tries to speak the truth, people just consider him a liar. And I'm like, I see why I related to him. Like, oh damn, I'm about to get another look in the mirror. But like, yeah. I will say fucked up shit happens to him that has never happened to me. I have not, in fact, been touched by gods and shit who who didn't want to take no for
Is
an
he a
answer.
villain or an anti-hero? Or just like gray?
He's just an antagonist.
Okay.
Like, Styx is, in the series, he's presented as a character who's trying to help the Atlantean goddess of destruction break out of the underworld to destroy the world.
Okay.
Styx and Acheron, whom is the son of the Atlantean goddess of destruction.
So he's trying to help his man.
No. It's complicated because gods and weird shit. So basically, Apollonie,
That's Greek mythology.
Apollonie, who is the Atlantean goddess of destruction, she and her Atlantean husbandman, like she's fucking annoyed. He's like Zeus, but Atlantean, and so she's just like, I'm the goddess of destruction and shit. My husband's a dumbass. Oh, but we finally got pregnant and have a baby, so she has a son on the way. Excuse me. He's like in this series, he is the father of the, I want to say the Morai, the Three Fates.
Okay.
He's like their dad, and they're like, you have to like, it's not 100% accurate to mythology.
No, I was just doing the face because I was trying to remember if Morai is the correct. I think you're right that the Morai are the Fates.
Yeah. Do let me know if I'm not. But yeah, so the Fates, when I guess they were young, they held their hands together and they basically lied and said that they had a prophecy that the child in Apollonie's belly would like destroy the Atlantean Parthenon. He would like be the reason the Atlantean Parthenon fell, and that his dad would die. And so his dad's like, well, we gotta abort that baby. And she's like, excuse the fuck out of you. No.
Question. Parthenon or Pantheon?
Pantheon, the one that means multiple gods.
Okay, because Parthenon's the building.
Pantheon.
It's just dyslexia because the words are so close.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the
I was just making sure I understood correctly. But.
You're good. Yeah, so God shenanigans, goddess of destruction gets one of the gods to take her fetus and put it inside the womb of a pregnant queen and attach the life force of the babies, right? So her son would take on the appearance of the baby in the womb, and Styx was also cursed to feel all of Acheron's pain so that he would kind of like be driven to protect his brother. Styx got
this is just a random baby. Styx is a random baby.
Yeah, he's just a random baby just chilling in his mama's womb.
And then this goddess is like, here's a twin. You're gonna feel his pain?
Yeah.
Go. Yeah.
Also, it turns out that Styx is also this, I forgot what they're called, but they're basically these primordial guardians of humanity, which means that he can also, like, he hears the thoughts and the cries and stuff of humanity, but he doesn't, like, because they basically fucked up his thing, he doesn't get the shield or the mental shield or powers to protect himself. That's where his migraines come from. And I'm like, that's not why I have migraines, but yeah. So yeah, when the children are born, though, Acheron has his mama's eyes, which are these weird silver swirls. So they're like, the king's like, ma'am, you fucked a god and got pregnant? And she's like, I didn't fuck nobody except you. But this has now caused drama because they know that the baby is the god's child.
That's not a normal baby.
They don't know which god, though. They're like, we don't know whose baby this is. And yeah, that's caused a bunch of issue and stuff. So basically, Acheron grows up hated by their father because he's like, well, that's not my son, and it's proof of my wife's infidelity. Both of the twins are hated by their mother because she's like, fuck y'all. Y'all the reason my husband don't love me no more. And their older sister hates Styx and dotes on Acheron because she just perceives Styx as like basically the selfish little spoiled rat. Like there's an example where Acheron's being dragged out of Styx's room and Styx like leaps and takes his toy horse away so that he can like protect it because he knows that if Acheron is caught with it, it'll like be burned, and so he's trying to protect it for Acheron. Acheron understands that, but the sister doesn't, and she's just like, you're just a selfish little asshat. Like, why can't you let him have one toy?
Wait,
Yeah.
what was the sister's name?
Risa, something like that.
Not in theme.
Yeah, she didn't get a river.
Well, it's because she's the beloved jewel of the kingdom. She didn't. she didn't fuck everything up. But yeah, so this is like their backstory and stuff. And the first like half of the book, at least, is Styx's backstory. But throughout the series, so I'm giving you context for the thing. So basically, yeah, they grow up in stuff. Acheron's like taken away to Atlantis. He lives a hell life there. Styx is kept in Greece. He lives a hell life there. 2 different hell lives, but still, neither of them have a good childhood and shit. But like, Styx kind of knows what happens to Acheron, but Acheron doesn't know what happens to Styx. All he like really knows is what their sister tells him, and she is not a reliable source.
Yeah.
But Styx like. So, you know, if one of them dies, so does the other. I have forgotten how they die, but they do die. And then Apollome, she has a really long name. I don't remember all of it, but Apollome comes out of her prison as all like, oh, my son's dead. She destroys the Atlantean pantheon because she's like, well,
might as well.
Yes, the prophecy came true, motherfucker. Fuck with my boy. But then, like, she does this thing where as long as she is trapped in the underworld, her son will live, right? But she also wants, or she brings her son back to life and stuff. But she's trying to find another way to break out now. Oh, I remember. Acheron comes back to life because Artemis makes him the first Dark Hunter. That's why he's alive. And because he's brought back to life, Styx is brought back to life. Styx just wants to die, by the way. He's very upset by this.
That sounds
He wants to visit the river he's named after.
just one of the sounds kind of familiar, don't you think, Sam? Oh,
Shut up, Stevie. I may have a type. These poor sad boys. They just need love and affection. Their family, their brothers specifically have failed them. Specifically brothers. But anyway, yeah, so he's just kind of like tired of existing, but he has to exist because Acheron exists. And Apollome's all like, we can't let my son die. And he's like, yeah, can't do that. And then, like, he visits her and stuff, and she, like, hugs him and, you know, loves him motherly. And he kind of, like, lets himself feel it sometimes. But he's like, at the end of the day, he knows it's not him she's hugging. It's Acheron. Because she's not his mom. He's not actually related to her at all. He just looks like her son. So, like...
That's so sad.
Yeah, Styx is basically just doing her bidding, and he's mad at Acheron, and he's trying to pick fights with him. So, like, throughout the series, I never got the vibe that he was malicious or genuinely wanted to kill Acheron, or really any of the Dark Hunters. He's just sort of existing. And then I actually read his novel the first time, and I was very validated. And also because it's his novel, that means that he gets a lady by the end of it. I can't remember how, but I know I remember she's a goddess, and that they're cute. Hey yo.
Hello.
But yeah. So Styx is one of those books that like My Tattoo is a mix of the Zelda bird and the phoenix from Styx.
Hmm.
I do have a pronunciation for you.
Yes.
So it's the thing is that the what we have is the ch. It's
Is it Acheron?
it's a thing of this is the one letter that I always struggle with because it's a very like sort of noise. And but the closest is like Charon, like the fairy man, Charon, because they're basically spelled the same.
I thought you meant a ferryman.
No, fairy, the boat fairy, not the fairy. Um,
I would like to see a fairy interpretation of Karen the Ferryman now, please. But yeah, they are both named after the Rivers of Death because Sherilyn Kenyon is super on the nose with her naming. So because they're both like death is very integral to their like character arcs and stuff. I know we should have been sprinting, but I'm so glad
I
I
was
picked
doing
this
stuff, but
because I really love this book. This character specifically. The book itself is rather fun. Sherilyn does not shy away from writing fucked up shit. So.
Hi.
But CB, you want to count us down?
Yes. A 3, a 2, a 1, a go.
And we're back. How'd everyone do that sprint?
I just read the whole time.
I was replying to people's answers to the question of the day because I am lay behind.
I'm behind on those too.
Sorry, I just read your comment to Moxie. I do spend a great deal looking for on-sale generic brands.
I was behind on getting home to get to this stream because I spent too much time at the grocery store.
That's fine. I checked my emails. I listened to more of the book. And then I got ready to start reading this because I'm like, well, I checked my task list to get stuff done on it, and I'm like, oh, I've already read 4 hours of an audiobook today.
No.
I'm like, I need to read 50 pages of a physical book.
I was reading.
But I want to get to Styx's happy time. He's still in sad days.
No.
If I remember right, his like happy days don't start till he goes to war.
No.
Because he bonds with the soldier.
That's
Like-
not when people's happy days start.
Look,
The happiest
okay.
days of your life.
Sounds terrible. But if I remember correctly, he goes to be to lead a unit in a war, and for a while he's doing it, like the soldiers warm up to him and they become like his found family, and they're like his one solace in the
Are they all
world.
gonna die?
I think so.
Yeah.
No, maybe not. Maybe he just dies.
Oh.
Well,
That's
we know that he dies, right? Like this is
Yeah.
the backstory to a character who's like died and been doing shit in the modern world. Like the name of the chapters are just dates, and the first chapter is June 19th, 9548 BC. So I like that we're using modern day months and days, though, especially since there's several chapters that are on August 30th, which I'm just like, so what horrors did you go through on my birthday? So far, I don't think anything too bad has happened on August 30th. So
Too bad. Yeah, I read a comic. Although I'm gonna switch to Heaven's Official Blessing for the next sprint for reading.
that's fair. I'm gonna try to read. Well, I need to read 50 pages for 20-minute sprint. Bless you. I'll probably get like 18 pages done, but we'll see. We'll see. Because I'm not gonna lie, I just want to go back to Styx. But I need to read. This one was for February, and it came in late, and then I worked a convention, so I do really need to read this one. What did you do during the? Oh wait, Tina, you told us.
Yeah. Question of the day. I also posted the One Miss Retreat announcement for the update because I forgot to on the day it actually updated because I posted the page and I went straight to bed. And then proceeded to read a book.
I left a comment on the page.
I think when I checked in, it was before you had left your comment. Let me see.
Well, I'm letting you know
investigate.
now that I left a comment. I very distinctly remember my thought process for during that chapter. Again, I was completely focused and distracted by things that are probably irrelevant to the actual plot. Also, like, Case being jealous was adorable, but everything like went out of my mind once I saw the shirt. I assume Rue took care of his German Shepherd because Ragnar was being needy. 221 words. Ah, yeah.
Now you need to get 221 stitches in.
Yeah. How? fight with yourself. See who works faster, the knitter or the outliner.
That
Yes, right.
I'm actually curious to do that experiment because now I'm like, am I a faster knitter or faster writer?
I'm a faster writer, I'm sure, like, because my crocheting is so tiny that I have to fight the needle sometimes. Because I can't use the small needles, but like it just gets smaller than the needle no matter what I do, so I have to use a slightly big needle.
You're a tight tension sort of person when it comes to.
It takes me so long to do anything. I have to like focus and force myself to make them not that way. Tina, when you visit, I'll finally be able to give you the dice bag that I was supposed to mail to you like 3 years ago that I made. And I was just like, who wants this dice bag that I made because I don't need it? And you were like, I'll take it. Did Tina freeze? I think she froze.
I think she did. Or she's just making a very odd expression.
Yeah, the outliner because my knitting sucks. Fair. Faster writer, hands down. Do you knit or crochet? Thank you. I got DMs from Tina. So her power went out for a sec, but it came back on. So she'll be right back. Very sad.
Where's the...
This
This is going down here. This is our angle right now. Because I was like, oh, I'll do a little bit of embroidery. Like, let me grab my stuff. And then I realized I'm not on a stitch, like, right now. And I was like, oh, I'll just do, like, a simple outline of the cat. And then I'm like, where's my black thread? Because I have the little case. But I have the black thread that's not, like, attached to this project in here. But now I can't find my black thread.
Oh, no. Even if I did, I'd still be a faster writer. That's fair. My youngest got a knitting loom for the holidays, and now when she and Chris watch Godzilla together, she works on the loom while they watch Godzilla. And this is just incredibly, adorably hyper-specific of her now.
That is adorable.
She made a cozy for her cup, and she was working on a hat. I don't think she's finished this.
Where did my thread go?
I don't know.
This is so confusing.
You can find it.
In a Yu Hakusho haze when I organized this whole thing.
Okay, so where would you hide the hiei?
I don't know.
Is this the hiei black or the karasu black?
I think it's the hiei black because it's like attached to the project. It's with the people. But there's not much longer. Like they have this thing that they're all in, and obviously it's not super organized. So I moved it over, and there's like a random.
It would appear that something happened to the organized thing that they were all in.
No, the organized thing that I'm holding is still perfectly organized. It's just the black's missing. I mean, like I have two separate things of black, but they're not the black.
That's fair.
Like they're not the same thread type, so I'm like, oh. And I have no idea where the black with the project went. I guess I'll do something else for now, because I'll just switch later.
That's unfortunate. Maybe it'll show up just at random. Or it's sitting in your room at home.
I haven't brought this project home since I opened it.
Oh. Then it definitely should not be anywhere but there.
Yeah. Alright, I guess we'll switch to that stitch. Don't really wanna, but I should do it at some point. One strand. I prefer doing the like doubles just because they're easier to like keep on the thread. I realize this is like an awful angle. I use my box of embroidery as a place to rest my laptop. Ta-da! Did I take out a... Okay. I was like, wait, do I have a needle? Yeah.
We running joke at my mom's house that if you lose a needle or a pin, does not matter where or how you lose it, my grandfather's foot will find it.
Oh, delightful for him.
So we try to be extra careful to not lose anything because he has an amazing power to be stabbed in the foot by anything.
Yeah, sounds like it. Oh my god, I'm literally having Yu Yu Hakusho flashbacks as like I'm unwinding it of like what I was.
Oh yeah,
it was the Rescue Yukina arc, if anyone's wondering.
That's a good arc.
It was a good arc. I haven't tried doing embroidery with nails yet. I think it's gonna be kind of a bitch to do, but it's fine.
You'll be fine. Honestly, the hardest part about this knitting is that I'm making a scarf with a simple pattern and a small thread, but the only needles I had to fit are my super long circular ones. That's fair. Using the not quite right tool for the job.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, if anybody knows of or starts reading the Dark Hunter series, I would love to hear about it because it is a series that I greatly love and adore. And, like, it's very peak Sam, in my opinion. Very peak, edgy, 90s child vibes. Though it's written by a woman who grew up more in the 80s, I think. But that's fine. There are vampires. Well, they're not vampires. So Sherilyn did a thing where she made her own version of vampires and she calls them something different so that she can like things. No, there's dark hunters and there's daemons.
Oh.
And daemons would be like the vampires, right? And then dark hunters were created to kill the daemons. And dark hunters have vampiric traits so that they could fight them. No, the dream hunters are they're dream gods. They're a different thing. But they're actually like Greek dream gods. So
hey, like Hypnos, which is my like byline now.
I want to join the Dream Hunter Club. No, Sam, I don't need to add to my out of control TBR. There's only 25 books, Kelly. You'll be fine. I may have a thing for a very long series written by the same author with generally the same cast of characters where they kind of just take turns finding romance.
Which is fair.
We don't have any solid evidence of this between Ice Planet Barbarians and Dark Hunters.
Of course, not at all.
For like space sci-fi fans, there's also The League, which is generally about assassins and bounty hunters.
Also by Sherilyn McQueen?
Yes.
Nice.
You got a genre, I could probably give you a series. Except, like, I don't yet have a romance mystery series. I'm working on finding that. Like, there's a lot of adventure and action in these series, too. Also, always check the trigger warnings, because... Check trigger warnings.
Because you should just do that.
I remember liking Night Embrace, but I do have the first 4 of the Dark Hunter series. See, I can't remember them by titles. I have to look up who the couple in the book was. Let's see. Night Embrace. Why do I feel like that was? That's not Kyrian, isn't it?
I do not know.
You know, I'm looking at
the wrong side of the needle through.
Zarek's Dance with the Devil. I know that one. Does that one take place in Alaska, Rue? I know it takes place somewhere cold. I just can't remember if it takes place in Alaska. Talon and Sunshine. That one's my husband's favorite, but like there was so much sex in that one. Like they had a one night stand. That's like how they meet, and then Sunshine's like, "Okay, I'm out," and Talon's like, "Wait a second, I'm usually the one who loves you and leaves you. What do you mean you're out?"
Their names are Talon and Sunshine.
Okay, so one, as I said, Sherilyn's very on the nose, but also a lot of these guys are like, okay, Dance with the Devil does take place, I think, in Alaska, but you got to remember a lot of these guys are like ancient warriors, and like, so he's an ancient Scotsman, so yeah, his name is Talon, and Sunshine's parents were hippies. So like they bring that up. There other notable other female character names would be like Tabitha and Amber. Oh, who did I just read? Who's in Night Play?
I don't know.
But yeah, like with a lot of the names, Bride, her name's Bride McTierney, and her man's is Vane Cadillacus.
Vane. Sorry, the names are killing me a little. Just a tad.
Did I not say they were peak Sam?
Has Fox read this series?
No.
Damn.
I don't actively Cadillac. It's like Katta. Hold on. Kattalakis. Sounds a bit like something else. Like it's Greek. It's an actual Greek surname.
Cadillacus?
Yeah, Kattalakis. That's like a real Greek surname.
Too bad we don't have our Greek expert here.
Oh, our Greek expert isn't here.
Yeah.
But Vane's a werehunter, so he is a wolf boy. But
one
of the Dark Hunters' name is Wolf. He is not a wolf boy. He is a Viking though, and I love him.
There are werewolves, but there's a character named Wolf, and he is not a werewolf
because he's a Viking. He's a Viking, yeah, because he's a Viking.
There are other animals he could be named after.
I mean, there's also werebears, werejaguars, that's why they're just called the werehunters, because there's like 12 different animal lines that they could be, dragons being one of them.
I want to be a were-dragon.
Now you care.
If the options are a werewolf or a were-dragon, I want to be a dragon.
Me too, for the record. I'll sign back.
Okay. My favorite one, he's
the same things. Dragons are on different levels.
My favorite werehunter is actually he's one of the cat ones, but I don't remember which cat. But he's got a bird. He has a pet.
He's a cat and he has a pet bird.
Yes. Again, the series is peak Sam.
It is very Sam. Very Sam.
Oh, and then you have Julian of Macedon. Yeah. Macedon. Tina, we were talking about the name.
Me being like, "What is your form?" And I'm like, "Lulu."
Tina, Cadillacus, a Greek name? Yes.
Cadillacus.
How
do you spell it?
I type it. Kattalak. It's either US or AS.
Storm, all of your fur is on my embroidery.
IS. Sorry, it's IS, not US.
I was about to say Google gave me the.
Number.
Google. It.
Ow.
Okay. Hold.
No. But yeah, Ren, that's his name.
I like that name.
Ren.
With a W?
Where? Yeah. Hunter. His name is Ren Tigerian. And if he's not a tiger, I'm going to be disappointed. He
Yeah,
has a
Canalacus.
Yep.
With an I. It
Yeah,
doesn't. It doesn't come up for anything Greek, but it definitely, like, if you showed me someone who was like, you know, Eleni Katalakis, I would be like, oh yeah, that's a Greek person. Like, they very much like took the way that like Greek words are spelt, and but I don't see any specific reference to anything other than the character. So
that's one of
I might be wrong though.
That's one of the Greek wolf clans. So
I can text it my dad. We can ask him.
So Ren has a tattoo that's a jungle scene with a white tiger that runs along his left forearm, and I'm like, "Are you a tiger?" Oh, he's a tigard, a forbidden blend of two animals, snow leopard and white tiger. That's why I could think.
I totally thought a Tigar was just going to be a tiger with a fun accent. And I was like, why?
A tigard. No, ligers and tigards are actual things that have been bred in zoos. So
I know what a liger is.
They're just typically infertile, depending on which species was the mom, I think.
Interesting. Oh my god, the other day, this is totally off topic. Sorry. It's wildly off topic. I don't think it's relevant.
Ren is a magical shapeshifter. He's allowed to live longer than the things bred in captivity. But, well, what were you going to say? What's the off-topic thing?
So my friend Kristen is a neurology minor at school, which is funny because our majors, every time someone finds out, they're like, oh, what's your major to her? And she's like, oh, like biology, specialized with a minor in neuroscience or whatever. And they're like, oh, and what's your major? And I'm like, screenwriting. And they're like, oh. It's happened multiple times, but it's still funny.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. But the other day we were talking about dyslexia, and I was like, well, there's different types of dyslexia. And she goes, yeah. And then I like start to try and explain the types, and then I just pause and I go, this is literally what you study. And she's like, yeah, but like you were doing good job. And I was like, oh. She's like, I just wanted to hear how you would explain them. And I'm like, I was gonna like just start Googling.
I've explained them to you well enough that the neuroscience minor agrees.
Yeah, I was like, well, Sam has dyslexia, and yeah.
I do have an update.
It was just like a full like dead stop mid-sentence. I'm like, you know this. You are humoring me right now.
I do that to Tina all the time.
And I appreciate it.
I do have an update about the Greek name, and my dad has proceeded to read me to filth a little bit because he says it's definitely made up, the Katalakis, but he says the way you can tell is because no Greek name would have two T's back to back like that. And I'm like, damn, I was sitting here being like, that's a reasonable game. And this is why we get second sources.
Yeah.
Sherilyn, how could your fictional made-up name not be perfect?
Although he does say, as far as I can remember, and now he's continuing to type. So we might get further details.
I will say Sherilyn is also dyslexic, so.
I am writing the script I'm working on, the Fae script, which you guys should sign up to beta read. And I and using a lot of like Welsh, Irish, like mythologies and accents and all sorts of things that I'm not familiar with. And because of the such a short time frame it's all happening, I know it's not as well researched as it should be. And like naming conventions and such. And I'm just so ready for someone who like that's their actual culture to be like, what are you doing? And I'll be like, I don't know, I did not have time. If you want to correct me, please do so, but cite your sources so I can reference them as well.
Please correct me with official sources. Thank you.
Okay. My dad sent a couple more messages. Well, one more message, but he's continued to type. He's very invested in this.
Yeah.
I love how
But-
invested he is in this.
Something he amended is that the 2 T's is not a modern Greek thing, it's an ancient Greek thing. And that's how we get names like Atticus. And I was like, interesting. And he's continuing to type, and he's been typing for a while. So I might get an essay about
This is an ancient Greek clan, so
Okay.
maybe,
Okay, so that does fit.
maybe Sherilyn, you know,
She maybe picked up on.
Or got lucky.
Ah. I see.
Do we
It would actually be if it was. Is that for I have to ask. He has an alternative spelling.
you can, if you so choose, let him know it is a name in a book for an ancient Greek clan of wolf shifters.
Name of an ancient Greek. We'll say peoples for now, and then fictional ancient Greek peoples in book.
I forgot how much I enjoyed embroidery. I haven't been able to do it right now.
Titania's not Greek, that's Fey or Celtic. So, and I think that's
Response to what I was saying.
Nathaniel's also not good.
But then I see that you have again added a secondary T, and now I am just thinking that you are adding an extra T
Names.
to
I
name.
like the name Nathaniel.
As do I. I don't know about this Nathaniel though.
That's
Nathaniel
iffy.
seems a bit much.
So we might get some.
Dad essays.
Yeah, we're getting dad essay. He keeps typing and typing. Although the messages are not nearly as long as usual.
Well,
He's definitely doing where he's typing and then being like, and then typing more.
starting to hurt my dyslexia. There's too much of this now. But all right, we'll go into the sprint. Give Greek Dad a moment to get.
He's
all
correcting my spelling.
So rude. But also,
That's what all that typing was for. He was correcting my spelling. Because I was explaining that the author is not necessarily Greek, and I used the little like slang word for like foreigner to do so, and he corrected the way I spelt it in Greek.
Ooh.
I don't know what Sherilyn is. I know she is a white Southern lady.
I did say possibly for
Yeah.
it. I didn't confirm either way.
I know. I'm like confident she's not Greek. I'm just saying I don't actually know. I know she says, so I can look this up real quick. Where is your wiki, Sherilyn? I both love and hate how I can just spy upon famous people. I can be like, what is your ancestry? Where is your wiki page? Yes, I know she's an urban fantasy paranormal romance writer. She's also a sci-fi writer. Rude leaving that out of the wiki.
You can correct her wiki.
I
Although that is a lot of work.
It's over here written in genre for the thing, so yeah. Oh, the accusations and divorces in here.
No.
Is it not?
Yay.
She sold over 70 million copies of her novels in print in over 100 countries.
Holy shit.
She's
Go
appeared at
with
the top of
Queen.
the New York Times, Publisher,
Lightning.
and USA Today list. They're also frequently bestsellers in Germany, Australia, and the UK. I'm bragging about this lady I don't actually know, but I've read her since I was a teen. So,
How much older is she than you?
she was born in 1965, so she's 58.
I love that you said she grew up in the 80s, and I'm like, she's an adult in the 80s.
I was wrong. Okay, she grew up in the 70s. Well, in my head, I had been like 80s, maybe 70s, because look, when I met her, I think she was in her 30s or 40s. So that's just where she is in my. Yeah, I met her when I was pregnant with my first one. Chris and I went to a book signing, and it was funny. It was her and Diana. I can't remember the other name, but they were co-writing a series together. And I went there, and when I got up there, both of them looked at me and they're like, "We saw you from all the way back there." They're like, "That you look like you're in your third trimester and you're wearing those heeled boots." They're like, "We're so honored you stood in line." They're like, "We felt so bad." And I was like, "I don't know if that's why I want to be noticed by my favorite author. But
I mean, as an initial impression, that's a pretty badass initial impression.
So
next time you meet her, you have to like approach wearing also heeled boots, but this time with your eldest child slung over your shoulder, no matter the child's age.
I gotta start working out so I can carry him.
Or you make the child carry you.
That might be more feasible.
Yeah.
So she's 25 years older than me. She is exactly a quarter century older than me. I'm like lightly reading this because I'm trying to see if it says in her, parents are from such, but like her ethnicity is just Southern. She's from She's lived in like Georgia, Mississippi, Tennessee, Louisiana.
Damn.
Her childhood she defines her childhood by abuse and poverty. This explains why so many of your characters have fucked up lives, Charlotte. I understand you. But anyway.
Wait, I want to show off what I did during that time. Oh, you can totally tell. See the darker line running up? I did that.
I can tell. Anyway.
The dark part, not the gray part. The gray part has taken me like 15 episodes of Yu Hakusho to do, which is a long fucking time, guys.
Jessica is recommending the Kellen Graves Rowan Blood series to UCB. It's Celtic-based stuff and very gay.
Ooh.
Where's my notebook? Hold on. I've got a page.
Do you want to beta read a gay fae thing?
It's pinned in the chat.
You should sign up. It's only going to be like 20K because it's a feature film script and those are tiny. Don't be intimidated by the potential page count.
Graves.
No pressure though. Well, a little pressure.
She's from Atlanta. Is she from Atlanta? I don't remember where she was born. But maybe. I know that she currently resides in Nashville, Tennessee, and she goes to Dragon Con every year. Because I remember I sound like a stalker.
You do, slightly. But like,
look, she's Southern and she's dyslexic and she writes Peak Sam stuff. I want to become her.
She's
but
your
not
Rick Riordan.
Yes, she's my Rick Riordan.
Even though I
Yes.
don't want to be a middle-aged man.
Okay.
I will eventually become a middle-aged woman, so I'm okay with that. Because I remember Atlanta basically being the freaking hub base of it. Oh, that's in Dark Hunters. It's usually either in Atlanta or Baton Rouge, Louisiana, which they're just like paranormal hubs in general. So that's just kind of like a genre thing. Everything happens in Atlanta or Baton Rouge or New Orleans. That's how it's said, bitch.
I know. I'm just making fun of you because I can.
That's not a defense.
Yeah, it is.
Go ahead, Tina. You had an update before we.
I have an update. Final saying. Dad says name does not exist. He did the Greek Google, so his thing is more accurate than mine. But he did say that
He got the source.
It is slightly the spelling is slightly off in that it should be actually katalekes, an es rather than an is. But that might just be because the letter that they use is like they have two e's, but for us one of those e's is an I, like when you translate it. So that's probably, but it would be katalekes rather than katalekes, or kiss.
Nolans, yes, bitch, Nolans. That's how it's said.
I could never.
New Orleans. I've been there when I was very young, and I really don't remember it, other than the restaurant we ate at, which was nice. It was for Thanksgiving.
My aunt, she's one of my aunts who married in. She's from Louisiana. Like, grew up going in and out of the bayou. So
we had a bayou behind my back, in our backyard behind our house when we lived in Texas.
You are desperately trying to figure out how to break down what I said. But okay, so let's go into a sprint. Okay. So I can stare at this book and imagine myself reading it. It's not a bad book. I just don't want to. So I was gonna ask you to count us down, Tina, but you're eating now, so I'll count us
3,
down. Oh, there you go.
2, 1.
And we're back.
We're back.
I'm reading this like kind of trashy, but I'm kind of here for it. Like harem comic, whatever. It's all men. It's completely there's a side lesbian couple, and they're kind of my favorite. It's like the villainess and the female leader, just like to the side, getting together as the like what was originally supposed to be the female lead's harem is like hitting on. Anyways, and I kind of want two of the guys in the harem. I'm like they should be together. Like leave the drama.
You always gotta pair the harem together with each other.
Yeah. I mean, like either all four of you should be together, or you two should be together, and I guess we can choose that one. He's like my least favorite.
They need to keep each other company. All the main characters doing things.
I like the male lead, like our male lead, and then I like 2 out of 3 of the love interests, but I don't really know the love interest that I don't like so far. Like he's barely had any screen time. He's supposed to be like mysterious and shit, and I'm like, okay, but what's your personality? Because you just like kind of like don't respect boundaries right now. The other 2 are like hella respectful, especially my favorite. So I'm like, you're among high company. Among the competition is steep.
Yeah,
I like that.
Jessica got 105 words that sprint. Awesome. How did you do, Tina?
I did some doodling. There's a character in a false oracle who I really like, who hasn't shown up yet in the outline that I have written. But I have done like some pencil sketches of them, but I've never actually like drawn them. And so I was doing a little doodle that might become a full piece of like them and their partner. But which would be fun.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, and I also finished up a art piece I started ages ago of Boo and Luna as Animal Crossing villagers. And so I'll probably post that as well. It's funny though, because Boo's personality has really like mellowed out since I started that, because I started probably like, it's been like 4 years. And so I'm like, I don't think he's actually smug anymore. I might have to change his expression.
There. We all grow and develop. I read 7 pages ish. Chris also came in here to say goodnight, so I talked to him for a bit. Let me tell you. I got a little confused in the book for a moment because, like, the format is not your typical format. For example, this is how the dialogue is done. It looks like a text RP conversation.
It does.
And then on this side, it was like the 2 of them hung out, and then they're like, these are the things we talked about all night, and it's a literal list of things.
I kind of love that.
And it's like, I'm having fun with the format. However, at the dinner with 3 of them, they're labeled as her, me, Eve, and I'm like, who the fuck is her? There's 3 hers. It's like trying to remember who the main character was, and then who the her could be. I had to go back and reread a page to figure it out. But I was like, Eve is the only one of you with a name in these text RP conversations. Please label everybody. But it's kind of like me, my love interest, and then Eve. Is how I'm translating it. But Eve suffers from migraines, so I can't escape it. No matter where I go, Styx is getting migraines. Eve is getting migraines. What about you, Jane Austen book I need to read? Does the character in here have migraines?
Which Jane Austen book is it?
This one is Persuasion. Last month I read Northanger Abbey.
I watched a TikTok recently, and it was people thirsting over Alan Rickman's Jane Austen character, the Colonel, I think he plays. But I haven't seen the one that the Jane Austen movie he was in, so now I kind of want to watch it. Because, like, in my opinion, he's not an attractive man, like physically, but aesthetically in like clips and stuff, the way he like moves and acts, like it's a very female gaze.
Alan Rickman is not traditionally considered handsome, but he has a charisma about him.
Yes.
It's very female gazy.
Maybe even a uniqueness, nerve, and talent.
So charisma is I think. Alan Rickman, Jane Austen. I don't care who this Alan Rich's son is. What? Did I miss
someone in the Colonel or something like that?
I just want to know which one he was in. Sense and Sensibility. Okay, I know nothing about that one. Other than I love the alliteration. But yeah, these are my 4 paperbacks that I have to read. Although this one has an audiobook on YouTube because Jane Austen books are technically public domain. So I will likely I don't know. The last one I tried to read, my God, whoever formatted it, like fucking the margins were this wide and the text was like, I was like, why?
For annotation.
This one's actually formatted like a normal book. The text is still really small, though.
I would assume it's for annotation, like annotating, so you have a bunch of room on the sides to annotate it.
I just know it's real.
But I dislike
it. Tiny, and my dyslexia could not.
Yeah.
So I listened to somebody on
Reading
YouTube. Listen to me. It was fine.
Podfic, where people take fan fictions and they read them out loud, like audiobooks, and I'm like, damn. I found one woman who's like, I love her voice, and she knows how to pronounce all the like Chinese names. So I'm kind of like pronounce the Chinese names.
I was recently informed that there are YouTube narrators that you can submit horror shorts to, and some of the bigger ones will even pay you for them, and they read them out loud. Like they do, like their content is audiobook for horror shorts, and I'm like,
that is cool.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Part of Alan Rickman's charm was in person, and he was super nice.
Yeah. I heard that as well. Back when I was in my obsession.
He is one of those actors where I have not heard a negative thing about him.
Yeah.
So. But I heard some good things.
Yeah. He's in the he plays.
I will, however, hold a small grudge against him for making Snape likable.
Yeah.
I will never fully forgive him for that.
Fair.
Yeah. Can't blame.
Make some good fan fiction out of it, where it's like, oh, let's explain this character, or accept, like, I don't know, make the character complex more than just like, ah. Anyways, my like first like interest in filmmaking was as a little kid. I got like the magic behind the scenes of all the Harry Potter movies, and I loved that book. It was literally falling apart. I read it so often. And that was the first thing I ever learned about filmmaking at like age 9 or 8 or something like that. When I finished Harry Potter.
The one book I read so much that it started falling apart and I had to buy a new copy was In the Forest of the Night. So
I don't know what that is.
I've talked about it before, especially since I read it in January for the Year of Faves, for Childhood Fave, I think. In the Forest of the Night was written by Amelia Atwater Rhodes.
No, that.
And it was published. They wrote it when they were 13, and I think it was published when they were 14. Amelia is also wrote the first Sapphic novel I ever read. It was a Sapphic shifter story that I did
Of
not
course it was.
expect. Of what?
I said, of course it was.
Yeah.
Well, she had it was a series called the Keisha series, and it was like takes place in this ancient, like Aztec Mayan kind of civilization, I think. And there's the hawk shifters, like the bird shifters versus the snake shifters, and it's like the avian and the serpiente, and it's like this really interesting war on like the Cobra Prince like comes to the Hawk Princess and he's all like, we need to end this war. Like our people are dying. This is just shit. How about we marry each other? And she's all like, oh no, how I feel about that. You're a fucking snake. Like literally. But then like they do it for the good of their kingdoms, and they like book 1 is them getting to know each other and stuff. And then book 2 is I think about them being together and they're like gonna have a baby. And then book 3 I want to say is like she had a bird boy who like he loved her but she didn't love him. Well, he gets a lady.
Oh, I thought you said he gets murdered, and I was like, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say he either
No,
dies or gets axed.
I haven't read these books since I was like 18, so I don't remember everything. But then, okay, so the hawk and the snake, they have a child, right? But because the magic in the child is like volatile and stuff, and they're trying to figure out, well, like who could the princess marry that, like, you know, if she like her magic's already volatile enough, like if she
The
has
baby?
well, she's a teenager at this point.
Okay.
Because it's a time skip. They're like, you know, she's super stressed because she's like, if I get married and have kids and shit, like, I don't know, something's just gonna implode. But also, like, she's not into dudes. Oh no, maybe she's the one with the bird boy who likes it. Either way, so she's not into dudes, and then she kind of like either runs away or is kidnapped, and she runs into this wolf shifter and who is a lady, and then they like bond and stuff, and then I was like, oh, is they gonna be girlfriends? And yeah, there's these girlfriends, and then they don't gotta worry about having a volatile baby who will kaboom the kingdom.
Yay.
Problem solved. They'll just adapt. So that was like the first sapphic novel I ever read, and I was like, I likes this. I needs more.
That is very valid. What's the name of this?
It's the Keisha series. Book 4 is Wolf Cry. Fox says, how have you not made CB read it? I will not make anybody read either Amelia Atwater Rose or Sherilyn Kenyon, because one, Sherilyn Kenyon does write about some dark, fucked up shit. She doesn't typically write it on page, though. It generally happens off page, but it's still one of those things where it's like, read the trigger warnings and decide if you want to read it. And Amelia Atwater, they started their writing career as a teenager, and while I still think it's good, I don't know, it's one of those things where I'm like, if it sounds interesting, definitely read it, but I'm not making anybody read it. I will say, if you read like Amelia and Sherilyn, though, you'll see a lot of where some of my things either come from or just further validates, yeah, this is how Sam's stories, especially in the Forest of the Night, and the way that Rissika's narrative is written.
Mm-hmm.
That reminds me, Sam, I need to write a rules story to submit for narration. Glad to be a reminder. I will say that Amelia Atwater Rose's books are very short, though. So, like, In the Forest of the Night is yay thick. They're yay thick.
Do you know how many words?
Maybe 40,000. Let me see.
Oh, it'll take like an hour to read.
Yeah, it's really short read.
I'm slightly concerned about my reading speed. At one point, I'm like, am I registering everything on the page? Like, am I making up half of what my
you and your brain?
Like,
How many words is...
ta-da, I finished that part. Not the whole thing. Yeah, that'd be funny.
You just, like, come over and you pack the Kyusha series for the writing retreat and you just finish it all on the drive there.
I mean the flight. The 2-hour flight. Actually, I'm 2 hours on the train, and then I'm on the
Okay.
flight for 2 hours. I'm on the train more than I'm on the... It takes me
Okay.
longer to get to Philly than it is to get from Philly to Nashville.
Look, I more meant like you physically being in my house, borrowing my physical copies and finishing them on the way
That makes
to
much
the
more
trip.
sense. Except I get car sick.
Damn, I was close. It's 44,000 words based on page count.
You were close. Ta-da, I finished the outline thing in the middle.
Yay!
Yeah.
Woohoo!
You can tell I'm putting off doing the panels just because I don't like it. I feel like I'm doing it wrong because these stitches are like way too loose. I feel like because they cover so much ground. I'm like, this can't be right, but I think it is. All right, we're getting an awning.
What is the image going to be?
It's a cat trying to climb out the
Oh, it
window.
is a cat.
But
Oh, so cute.
It's a cat with no stripes right now, so
yeah, no stripes.
a little
It's on
tabby cat.
I got the design in the kit off of Etsy for like $20, and it's like it has everything you needed included in it. So
I will say Fox was made to read In the Forest of the Night, though, because he is my best friend, and I'm like, if you are my best friend in all of existence, you have to read it. There's just no you have to read it to understand a piece of my soul. You'll never fully understand without it.
this is the way.
This is the way. Just like life is hard. Yeah, CB and I, like for 3 weeks now, one of us will have a headache, and we will message the other one, and we will be like, my head hurts, and I feel like I'm a vomit. And the other one will just go, life is hard, and then it's like, life is hard. As the other day, I was like, that's like our mantra. It's like our this is the way mantra.
Okay, we're doing orange. This is 19.
The migraine cult.
Which I haven't.
Tina, what you focusing on? So
I'm making sure I've answered questions of the day that I've answered. Because
I love the people
I'm
in my
now.
group, but sometimes I will go through and I will answer all the questions of the day, and I'm like, I'm done. And then there just happens to be one person awake, and they'll respond to me, and I'll be like, why couldn't you give me an hour? And I just melt into a corner. Which, it's fine. It is. I love the answers, and I just give myself an hour before I go back and respond to them. It's also my own fault for getting 8 days behind.
I mean, I up until tonight was a full week and a half behind.
But I don't have to answer everyone.
No, you don't have to answer anyone, and also you can answer them in any order you'd like.
Yeah. You can
It's
even
a thing of I always as the host, I always make the questions.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
As the host of the questions, I always make sure that I always respond to people's answers. Not the chitty chat you guys do, but your direct answers. Because when I started, it was a thing of I had in other writing groups where I would share bits of story or ask people about their story, and they would respond with their answer, but then not give any sort of encouragement or anything to me in return. And I was like, I don't want to make people feel that way.
Yeah.
And so you're basically guaranteed a response from me if you answer the queue. It might take a long ass time, but I will respond to you with my honest reactions.
I feel as A, the server host, and B, just an incredibly social person, I also want to at least give everyone, like, even if I'm just going fair enough, or yeah, that makes sense, just so like you know that I have read it and I comprehend your answer and had some feeling about it. But
I don't read yours.
You don't even read my responses.
I do read people's when I go through them. Although I'm often forgetting to. But I do try.
I don't think everybody expects everyone to respond and stuff.
Nah.
So
I'm working on the little dude's ears.
Yay! It was a thing of like I could very faintly see that the ear lines were there when you were showing it, so I was like, "Is that a cat?" I'm not sure.
Yeah. This is what it's going to end up looking like. Ta-da.
Oh, that's really cute. It's very like Ghibli vibes. You know?
I know, it's so cute. I
do wonder because it seems to be that those side panels are like orange, right, or like a light orange. So I wonder if those
tan, yeah.
I wonder if it's a thing of those little lines that you've done in between are supposed to be loose because there is supposed to be the tan in between it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like it's going to be like a base of tan down the whole thing, and then going back in with white for the little stripes.
I see. Cool.
But I think I was doing the wrong.
One of those trust the processes things, I think.
Yeah. That'd be crafts. I gotta answer my own dang question.
Fox
I forgot my own dang question.
To respond and then is staring at me. I will say, I do like Tina and I had discussed the Tina's question of the day when she first put it up, and as to like if we wanted to do it in its own like channel or make it a thread or a forum. And originally we were like, we'll just put it in writing and see how like things go. But I was really happy when like it seemed to have grown beyond and needed like its own space. And now I'm really loving the forum format that we've been able to shift it to. It makes things so much easier.
Yeah, to go back to conversations and such.
Yeah.
I do the writing achievement of the day. I might like go back and re-answer that one every like once a week or something, just because like
it was for the week.
Yeah, that could be.
It was. What was your writing achievement this week?
Yeah, well, it's the question was like, what is your graded or what's your basically just list a creative achievement for the week or writing achievement for the week. Either way, the point is I answered it for that week, but I'm like, if I am in the mood to just brag about something, I'm gonna go back in there and be like, well, this week, this is what I got done. So
yeah,
that
I feel like
particular one will never die.
What if we just made that its own like its own thread of like instead of it being that question, be like
that's what Silver Linings is for.
Yeah, but have it be like set up as like almost like a shared tasks list, but like share weekly success. And then, you know, each week we go in and post our success. Like have it have a little more structure.
I have to think about it because that's
maybe,
like I said, that's what Silver Linings is for. It's just to go in there and share your silver lining of the week. Because every cloud has a silver lining. So, but also silver linings and have a laugh are often just used as the same thing. So maybe I just need to rename silver lining. RP said a little late, but I took the dog outside and accomplished it. Oh,
yay! I still gotta answer my own dang question.
I know. I went through and I tagged you for some because like I was reading them and then I was like, wait a second. Tina didn't answer this one.
Yeah, there was some I really had to think on.
That's fair.
I think one of the ones recently stumped me, but I can't remember what it was. What was Friday's question?
This Friday's question was what are 3 favorite tropes that show up in your current project?
Secret identity. That's one. That's like my favorite trope, I think. Like it's just I love secret identity. They're so goofy.
Oh, the three tropes question. Sorry,
Was that the one that stumped you, or was that another one?
I think it was because I was like, I don't know what trope show up.
I was sitting there. I was like, oh damn! I have forgotten every trope I have ever enjoyed ever, let alone the ones I have used. And I'm like, which ones am I using?
That's basically what happened.
I was sitting there and I was trying to Google the actual names of the tropes because Chris gets a little particular about that sometimes. And he's like, what are you looking
Chris,
up?
eh?
Like,
Chris gets particular, says the Virgo.
About the tropes? I am not particular about the trope names because, like, I'll just throw out a trope. As long as you understand the trope I'm talking about, then I'm fine. But Chris will be like, that's not what the TV trope is called. And I'm like, I gotta go look it up.
Well,
but yes, I am the pot calling the kettle.
My actual favorite trope is called identity porn. But every time I say that, everyone's like, and I'm like, no, that's the way where the identity shenanigans are to a gratuitous amount. I love that shit. It's so funny. And the trope's called identity porn, but everyone.
I mean, yeah. It is funny that the word porn is applied to certain words for tropes to just basically mean gratuitous and unnecessary.
Yeah.
That's not the actual definition of the word. But, like, you're right. It is added as, like, a suffix compound term thing. Like,
yeah.
Because, like you said identity porn, and I immediately understood what you meant. But then, like, I understand why people would look at you that way. And then you defined it, and it just sent my brain down, like, oh, yeah, like, we do the same with torture porn. So...
Although there is actual torture porn.
Yeah, there is actual torture porn, but then, like, there's just stuff that people refer to. Yeah, it's
not what I was expecting to talk about tonight.
You gotta stop having expectations.
I mean, I like when Tina has expectations that I supersede in one form or another. I don't think that was the sentence I wanted, but it's the sentence we got. That's another Sam catchphrase. We should do do we want to do 30 or do we want to do 20 or 25?
30.
Okay, Kelly.
Ooh, have a good night.
Hey,
Night, Kelly. Oh, don't forget to write the thing. If you're there Wednesday and or Thursday, I'll try to remind you again. The rules story for submission.
I don't think she's doing it tonight.
No, well, I didn't mean right this minute. She's going to bed. This is a fair clarification, but still. Jessica is done writing for tonight, so gonna knit and watch YouTube. No problem. We'll probably see you after the sprint then. Whose turn is this countdown? Mine?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
So 3, 2, 1, go. And we're back.
We're big.
My oldest realized he didn't do laundry this weekend.
Oof.
So I went and we got his load started. And I told him I would make sure that it gets into the dryer while he's asleep.
Realizing that you have like no clean clothes for the next day while it being night is one of the biggest oh shit moments.
Mm.
And then I was hungry enough for my salad, so
Very nice.
I love watching
Right.
the progress.
The rest of them ended up pretty okay. Ooh.
So I listened to more of my sad boy backstory. He just cannot catch a break.
I copy pasted the outline for A False Oracle into my notes app because usually I work on it on Google Docs. But, usually I write notes in a separate app, like my notes app, and then I transfer those notes into the Google Doc. And with Google Docs doing their whole cracking down on spicy stuff, which I don't think AFA would, but maybe, a friend was
I
like,
heard about that.
"You gotta move that outline," and I was like, "That's a true." And I was like, "I wonder if it'll fit in the Apple Notes."
Yeah,
because
have
I
you
was
not
like,
heard of this?
No, I haven't. What's
Yeah,
going on?
Google Docs is gonna make it so that you can't share like what it deems as like explicit material, like docs wise,
Why?
because they can. The thing is that they're using AI to determine what's explicit, and
But,
they
like,
haven't detailed
where
what
did this
is going to
come
be
from?
explicit. No idea. But yeah, so
some wild censorship there.
Yeah.
well, it's the thing of you can still have stuff in your Google Docs, like
Yeah,
on
you just
your
can't
account.
share it,
You
but
just can't
like
share it.
that's still wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna see about. I have an idea for an alternative way to share my outline for like you guys to comment on. Good old Notion. But I was like, while I was talking about it with a friend, I was like, it makes more sense because I frequently will like be writing notes for the story in my notes app, and I don't have Google Docs on my phone. So I can't actually look at the outline I'm writing for when I'm in the notes app, and I'm like, they should be on the same app. Will they fit on the same app? And thankfully it does. Like the notes doesn't have like a character limit, but I was going through and doing the formatting, and I got distracted by actually reading the outline because there was scenes I fully forgot that I was like, oh, this is really good.
I mean, you're refreshing your memory and formatting. It works.
I mean, I was intending to refresh my memory later by like fully going through and being like, oh yes, this is, I need to add something, for the next, but no, I was just reading throughout as I was going at like bits and bobs because there's one scene that I remember I added in later that I like didn't quite stick in the memory, but reading over I'm like, that's good, that's real cute.
I love those moments. So just so everyone knows, this is a 31-hour audiobook.
Okay.
And 5 hours, 40 minutes in, it's still sad times for my boy. He'll have like a scene or two with like cute little, like him and the guy who is in charge of his battle training. There's like that guy. He's like he's basically the only like friend and father that Styx has ever known. And I'm like, I am so terrified that he's gonna die, and I just forgot. Because he's a retired soldier, so he shouldn't be going to war. But he's also like told Styx, he's like, I would be proud to go into battle with you, and like his wife is dead. So he's just got his daughter and like his grandkids and stuff. And I'm like, I know Styx goes to war because Styx like has I think the term is stigmata, Stygian army. But yeah, so I'm like, I know Stig, he gets like his own unit and stuff, and I'm like, is the old guy gonna go? Is he gonna die? I really don't remember.
Kind of feels like he dies.
I also randomly remembered the name of the goddess that Styx gets with, so there's that.
Well, you're not gonna tell me?
Well, I think it's an original goddess.
Ah.
Yeah. Her name's Bethany.
That is a terrible name for a goddess.
Well, that's like not her true name.
Bethany, why didn't you pay me back for the... Sorry.
Like, that's not her true name. I think that's her, like, mortal, the name she goes by when she's mortal, but I can't remember her goddess
She
name.
chose to go by that? Damn.
C.B.
Some people ain't as judgy about the name Bethany as you are. Damn, Bethany. I like the name Bethany. But anyway.
Ferrenz met at Bethany Beach. It
But,
just gives Ferrenz vibes. I go to Bethany every year, but Bethany is a beach, not a person, guys.
Never heard of Bethany.
Bethany.
But anyway, one of the things that I like that Sherilyn does with the deity mythology is there's some deities that like they exist in both like Egyptian and Atlantean or Egyptian and Greek culture. But in like the way that kind of works is she's like, well, one of their parents is Egyptian and the other parent is Greek, and so like they've got kind of two things there. So like I think Isis is one of them. I just don't remember Isis's technical lineage in the thing. So I like that Sherilyn, she like kind of sticks to the like mythos sometimes, but she is not afraid to just do whatever she needs to make it work for her plot overall. And I'm like, I can live with this.
I've definitely mentioned this before in the writing group, but I don't think I've ever mentioned it on stream. But part of my formatting going through is the way I write my outline is that there's like little scenes, because it's going to be a comic, so those will probably be comic episodes, right? Like or pages, like collections of pages, little arcs. But in order to remember what happens in those scenes, I give them funny titles. Because I know if I make it like a stupid reference to what's going on in the chat, like in that scene, that I can very quickly look at it and immediately figure out what it is. And so I've come across some of my favorites, which are a bit of a party pooper. And then I also have, where is it? Wanted snacks, received responsibility. And then my all-time favorite, drunk doctors attempt surgery, in brackets, not clickbait.
Wanted snacks, received responsibility is how I felt when I went out there to get salad dressing, and now I have to do laundry. So I relate to that title. Wait. Scarf is 3 inches longer now. Yeah. Oh, wait, 3 inches long now. Awesome. I don't really write explicit stuff, and I don't like that they're doing that. See, I agree. My mind immediately goes to they're like trying to cut down on the spread of some legal illicit things, and this is just the umbrella way that they're going to be able to do it. That's why I was asking why. Because like websites generally don't start doing a censor ban without cause beforehand, you know? So except Tumblr. Tumblr's like the exception that proves the rule. Damn, CB throwing shit. Right? It like felt like CB knew a Bethany, and they were like the worst of enemies.
I've never met a Bethany in my life.
I have. And it's really funny because her last name is also the name of a prison. She herself was a wonderful person. But so I associate Bethany with sweet, nice people. And I think the goddess in the story is, I think she is an Atlantean war goddess. I cannot remember. Oh, is she the one that was supposed to kill him? And she was like, "Nah, I'll kill babies" or something. I don't know. Look, I am currently plagued by having future knowledge, but not remembering where the future knowledge fits in. So now, like, the unfolding of things in the book, I'm all like, am I confusing myself?
Probably.
but also I will be 24 hours into this book before it goes to the present timeline.
I with reading Heaven's Official Blessing, I've gotten spoilers by just like virtue of being in the fandom for the other two MXTX works. Like a lot.
I hate when that happens.
But they're like out of context spoilers because like I've seen art of scenes and I'm like, I'm afraid. Because I'm on book 5. I'm almost done book 5. And I haven't gotten to the point yet. And I'm like, I really fucking hope that was a flashback.
Let me tell you.
I don't know yet. Ugh.
When a new Zelda game comes out, I just forsake the internet. I'm just like, well, you won't see me for a while.
I'm excited to finish this book so I can read fan fiction for it. Honestly, that's how I approach any new media. I'm excited to finish it so I can go into the fandom. Which makes it really sad when there isn't really a fandom.
I was about to say, and then she gets upset with me when I introduce her to something from my childhood, and the fandom is just died.
Look, the Yu Yu Hakusho fanfiction on the AO3 is severely lacking or just torn. And I'm like, I need my found family shit. You know what there's opportunity for in Yu Yu Hakusho? Identity porn. Not actual porn. Identity porn. Adoption
There is
none.
Especially with Shuichi and Kurama.
Yeah. There is a
Alright.
really fix from Kurama's mom's point of view, where it's like, my Shuichi has friends now, and her like slowly realizing that these are not normal fucking kids. And it's like really entertaining and really sweet. And
I need for fanfic or official material to delve more into the fact that Yusuke's mom hangs out with drag queens just casually. This is never addressed, and I need it addressed. I need more of this. I need to know, because like Yusuke knows this fact well enough that when he imagines where his mother is, he imagines her in a drag club or in a drag bar.
Yes.
Drinking. And I'm just like, this explains Yusuke's attitudes later towards like a transgender character where he's like, well, I don't really care. He's like, I'm a fight no matter what because you're in our way.
Equal opportunity beating people up.
He's an equal opportunity bruiser. But like, I just need to know, did Yusuke like grow up in the drag bar, much like how many children on the street grow up in their single parents bars? Or like what's up with it? I just need more info. All right, but it is time to go. We are past our 3-hour limit.
Oh, yeah.
We'll catch you later, lovely peoples. My head just started hurting at the base of my skull, so we're not doing outros. We're just gonna do the thing.
Bye-bye.
Bye. See you Wednesday, maybe.